Good morning. It's a usual alarm we have in Ukraine. You don't expect it depending when it's happening, but there are sirenes and it means we have to go down to the shelter. Let's see how it is there. With children, with everybody. We are starting this day in the shelter, which is the basement of my building where I live in the downtown of historical part of Lviv, and everybody is already inside, so let me show you how it looks like. People are sitting, chatting, everybody is safe. Hello. That's my lovely wife Marta. She's the main organizer to put people down here. And basically what happened is that we were sleeping, and at one moment there are alarms on the phone from the local authorities that it's dangerous, there might be an airstrike, and according to the protocol everybody is going down into the shelter, and this situation could happen a couple of times per night. Usually within five minutes most of the people are down here. Then we wait, and if we receive the report that we can go out, we are going out. Not the most pleasant way to start the day really, but that's the reality we are living now in. However, most of the citizens of Kyiv are not that lucky. A lot of them were stuck in terrible traffic jams yesterday and the day before when they were trying to move to the west. And this very night, supposed to be the hottest one in our capital, I don't have actually the connection with many of my friends over there. There are some fierce fightings in the northern suburbs of the Kyiv, in the areas of Obolon. So we really don't know what is happening there, and hopefully in the nearest hours we'll be able to get to know what is the situation. So Kyiv is very important. It's the capital of Ukraine, and obviously this is one of the main targets of the Russians. While the people are getting more comfortable over there, I want to just explain you how it works. So we have some backpacks over here, this one, and some bags here, and this is my backpack. So the idea is to have everything with you, of course. So if hopefully not the building get destroyed, you need to have everything with you, get ready to survive for some time. So in my case, I've got there my laptop, all my technical stuff necessary to do this job what I'm doing at the moment. Then some clothes which are necessary for me, at least for a week probably, and first aid kit obviously. And I can tell that this packing part was not new, because I am actively traveling around the world. I'm used to this. At the moment I have visited over 120 countries in different continents in our world, and usually I travel actually with the same bag of the size, the size of carry-on luggage, right? So that's the way. The only thing what really sad here is that the airlines, every airline, stopped operating in Ukraine, and the word carry-on size reminds me that we probably will need to wait some time until the airline connection is restored in Ukraine. Let's hope that it will happen faster. It's a solidarity here. You see, one boy just came and gave a bublik. Bublik, I don't know how to tell what is it in English. It's the phenomenon of the Soviet Union, I think. This one. It's like So people are sharing everything. Yeah, cool. So what happened now?
Well, we woke up from the sirens. Well, it wasn't actually sirens, just they were announcing that you have to go to the shelter, and we just came down here, took our cat.
There's a cat.
There she is, yeah. And now we're here, just waiting for them to tell us that we can come out now and wait for another siren.
So now we are in Lviv. It's a very interesting historical basement, yes. But I just heard you came from Odessa.
Yeah.
So 40-hour drive from Odessa?
Well, it wasn't actually a 40-hour drive, but the road itself, because I had to stay over in Vinnytsia on the way at my ex-boyfriend's house.
Oh,
Yeah, that was interesting. But now it's a war, so everyone is a relative. And yeah, it just takes a lot of time because we have to take some turnovers and the roads that are not the main roads, because first they are very clogged, and the second is they are just an open point where you can hit. So like where the rocket can hit or something like that. That's why we just try to go over.
take smaller roads, yeah.
Yeah.
What's
And
happening now in Odessa? Do you have some contact with your friends there?
They all left. There were two friends, and they actually took me to Vinnytsia with them. And in Odessa, it was like I woke up the day before today. It was Thursday. I woke up from explosions from the sea, and my mom told me, my mom is in Crimea now, and she told me that they blown up the big factory in Armyansk. It's just on the way out of Crimea, just to create like some kind of diversion to blame Ukraine on it, so that they hit it with the rocket or something like that.
So that's the way how other brothers nation work. So basically, even on their own territory in northern Crimea, which is Armyansk, as Sophie told, they made an explosion to tell that, like, oh, you see, Ukrainians, you started this, and now let us settle this situation. And I just want to remind that yesterday it was reported that the lion's share of southern Ukraine is occupied, including the southern coast of the Dnieper River and Novokakhovka town, which is the center of the huge hydroelectronic dam. So at the moment, Russians are working in order to re-establish a water flow connection from Dnieper River along the Crimean Channel to Crimea. So yeah, that's what we are facing now, and please stay with us, and if you didn't, subscribe to this channel now in order to continue our relations. I'll be your guide to the situation in Ukraine. So Sophie is from Crimea, actually. I think we can talk more about this topic later. That's very interesting. And we have actually people who fled to Lviv from different areas. Where are you from?
Lviv.
Lviv. And this family is from Kyiv, right?
Yeah, we are from Kyiv. We just for a case moved from Kyiv 2 weeks ago. Just thanks to Microfocus, they propose us help for transferring, and we just thought that it will be just a trip, so it's a good time. But now we are very glad that we decided to start this trip. We thought that it will be just a trip, just a fun, because we thought it is very low probability for such kind of war which has started now. But we have now connections left in Kyiv, and I was born in Zhytomyr, and I also have news from Zhytomyr that there is Ozerne, and it was bombed. And I have many relations in Kyiv who and my mother, so she lived in the basement already instead of her home. Yeah, so fights and bombs are all times in Kyiv. My friends are trying to reach Lviv, or they are on the way to west of Ukraine now. So they are trying to move during 15 hours because a lot of people trying to move to west of Ukraine, and it's huge traffic. So something like that.
Okay, we are glad you're with us.
Thank you.
In the meantime, people continue arriving with small kids. Luckily, a couple of days ago, we made a small renovation over here. So we painted the walls, we even made this kind of adjustment because it was really old, neglected basement. And my wife Marta is actually an art gallerist, and one of her ideas is to recreate this space into the art gallery.
Yes, maybe in the future. So it's like,
Why not? It will have a great story.
yeah. Boris.
So subscribe to Gallery 101, the project of my wife Marta.
It's in Ukrainian though, but you can Google Translate.
I think-
it's a lot of information about great Ukrainian artists.
And I think it can be the time to translate some posts into English, because I just started blogging right from here in English language to spread the word, Marta. So you can also maybe use the chance of the attention which is now focused on the Ukraine, in order to not only tell about the bad things like war, but to tell about the great stuff like art.
Okay.
Release, we have received information, we can come back. Let's go. Marta, high five. So you have just seen a clear picture of a daily routine of many Ukrainian people. We are now in Lviv, and this can happen 1, 2, maximum 3 times per night, per day. However, people in Kyiv, people in eastern parts of Ukraine, basically living in their shelters, in the basements. It is not a pleasant experience. And I would like to address this to everybody, to my global friends, to international community. Show this video, spread it, tell your government that people in Ukraine are really suffering, that they have to interfere. And to tell the truth, this is not something that a normal human being would like to go through. At the same time, after you practice this a couple of times, it's not really that scary anymore, because your mind just clicks and you do what you need to do, right? You have some procedure, because the safety and people around you come first. So I would like also to tell to every journalist to explain really what's happening. Don't simply show and cut off pieces of videos when the children are crying and telling like, oh my God, hello. Like, look what's happening. Explain things. Yeah, there are much more procedures around it. How people communicate, where do they come from. For example, today there was a technician guy within our group of people down there, and we arranged to install internet connection down in the shelter, because who knows how long might it take. And guys, if you want to support us, the best way would be, first of all, spread the information, push your governments to interfere, impose sanctions on Russia, and of course we expect some military support if it goes really, really bad. Many people lost jobs. I am reorganizing my remote team from the marketing, from the consulting, professional activity to media support. Yes, and we are setting up stations in different parts of Ukraine, and obviously financial part is something that has to be covered as well. So if you really want to support us in this way, down the link below this video I provide exhaustive information how you can do it. We'll be really grateful for that. And let's stay in touch, let's stay strong, and looking forward to see you in our upcoming published materials, not only on YouTube but also on Facebook, Instagram. Obviously all the links are provided. See you, stay safe, and hear you soon.